basically it's really not that different from Metal Gear Solid. I mean, there's so many different elements that we're taking from Metal Gear Solid and putting into Acid. So it's not going to be this whole new world where it's just you're throwing down cards, because there's action-based elements like that are taken from Metal Gear Solid, like hide and seek elements. You knock on the door to bring guards to you, and there's also we have over 500 cards, many of which are taken from featuring characters from past Metal Gear Solid games like the End, the Boss, Solid Snake cards, Raiden cards. I mean, there's so many cards that, people who played Metal Gear Solid will see that, oh man, I know this character. There's a Raiden card. Within the player's turn, they can maneuver Snake within this area. I mean, and it's all with a touch of a button. Before, it was all done through menus. Climb up a ladder, you have to go to the menu and do it. But this time, you just use the D-pad, use the circle button to knock, or you can run out. So it's all done within a turn. You can move around in a real-time environment. This time around, we want to do something that was a lot more stylish, a lot more colorful. The previous Acid was kind of a realistic graphic sense with a lot of grays and blues, and this time we want to do something that really complemented the gameplay, because there's a lot of effects. So it's hard to have these effects come out and have them be really flashy if it's realistic. So we went to a kind of American comic book effect where there's lots of lines shooting out when you're putting down this card. 3D is something that I've always just been really obsessed with. So when I saw that we have the PSP handheld, I wanted to do something that just can't be done on PS2. So that was this 3D goggles that you attach to the PSP. And this is included in the package of Metal Gear Acid 2, and the price doesn't go up at all. It's just included right there, and it's kind of a service to gamers. When I first came up with the idea, I actually just cut out, it's made of paper. I just cut it out myself and stuck these lenses on and put it up to the PSP to see if it would work, and it did. Within Acid 2, we have so many different things, different ways you can use these goggles. For one is you can play through the whole game from start to finish in 3D if you want to. Also is you can watch movies from Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. You can watch the cinematics in 3D. However, as far as the gameplay is concerned, there was a lot of things I wanted to change from Acid 1. I had a whole list of things that, I thought that we could have done better in Acid. So with Acid 2, I've gone through that whole list and checked off every single thing that I wanted to do in Acid 2. And I pretty much made the perfect version of a strategy-based Metal Gear that I think is possible. And there's so much content in there that, yeah, it's unbelievable. Aside from the Japanese version, we have something very special for the US version, and that is we're adding 10 cards in the game, 6 of which are the MGS4 cards, and then we also have 4 website cards, one of which is an IGN card that was created by an IGN user. With Acid 2, after completing the development of the game, I don't feel like, oh, I need to try this out with Acid 3 or whatever. I put in everything I've got into Acid 2 to make the best like Metal Gear, strategic-based Metal Gear possible. I had a lot of anxiety coming out of Acid 1 because there were some problems with it. With Acid 2, I was able to check off everything off my list and throw it into Acid 2, and I think I made this kind of complete, perfect version. It's coming out March 28th this year, so very exciting.